Most people at some stage in their lives have been interested in postage stamps. One of the most famous collector's specimens is the old Cape Triangular, issued in 1853 by the former colony of the Cape of Good Hope. The Cape has long been known for its unique scenic appeal, but how many people are aware that it was this great beauty that inspired Sir Francis Drake to call it the fairest cape in the whole circumference of the earth? The mountains and valleys are exactly the same today, but with the addition of modern first-class roads. Now you can drive all around these intriguing promontories, discovering for yourself those delights which evoked that description from the intrepid mariner. There are fascinating rocky coves and irresistible sandy beaches at every turn of the road. That guiding light for which those early mariners so fervently craved, today casts a welcoming beam to ships from all over the world and welcomes you to a city as modern as the 20th century itself. Cape Town can still justifiably claim to be the mother city of the Republic of South Africa, but everywhere there is evidence of its modernity, its architecture ever reaching higher towards the skies, its efficient system for handling the traffic into and out of the city. Cape Town may not be the only city with roads adequate to cope with the ever-increasing demands of this motoring era, but few have better and many not as good. The roads through this natural paradise have been planned with such efficiency that the former joys of motoring are restored to us. And there are beaches to suit every taste. Clifton caters for the family man. Here, all amenities will be found readily available for parents with young families and teenagers who like to give the impression that they're not teenagers. Then there is Camps Bay for those who seek a more placid type of holiday. The popularity of Muizenberg has been a byword for many years. Miller's Point is especially suitable for the caravaner. Here he is welcomed and catered for. And there are countless more beaches where the sea is just as thrilling and safe at the same time, where the sand is just as golden and enjoyable, and where there is plenty of everything for all comers. The demands of vacationers will never exhaust the natural attributes of the Cape. Many are the relics of those days when the old triangular stamp could be bought for 4p. Here, for example, is the castle, residence of the early governors, which guaranteed sanctuary in troublous times to the intrepid founders of a nation. The oldest building in the country is maintained in a perfect state of preservation. Here's an old Dutch windmill that still works as it did 200 years ago. This Cape Dutch house was the home of Governor Simon van der Stel around the end of the 17th century. The House of Assembly, long steeped in historical associations. Groote Schuur, the Prime Minister's residence, presented to the nation by Cecil Rhodes. The South African Museum. The War Memorial to Delville Wood. And the former Supreme Court is still a landmark in the center of the city. There are many contrasts between the old and the new. The University of Cape Town has a charming atmosphere of old world dignity. But at this huge modern hospital, the latest techniques of medicine are applied for the benefit of all citizens. Every New Year, the bustling commercial centre of Cape Town witnesses the colourful Coons Carnival. During this carefree period, members of the Cape-coloured population literally take over the streets of the city, and they stage their exciting pageant of competitive singing and dancing. Majestic Table Mountain has watched a fascinating array of shipping throughout the ages. It witnessed Vasco da Gama's fleet of tiny sailing ships nosed timidly into sight 500 years ago. What changes have come about in the ensuing centuries? In this harbour, vessels of every description can be seen, including the elegant pleasure craft of those seeking relaxation from the pressures of modern life. These sturdy little motorboats take fishermen to pit their wits against the game fish of deep waters. Monsters like this can be brought back from where two oceans meet. Nothing can be more exhilarating than to be out amongst the turmoil of sun-drenched elements and to battle with lines taut almost to breaking point. A day's tunny fishing here never fails to provide thrills and complete satisfaction. The friendly coloured fishermen will always answer the questions of every landlubber and direct them to where the larger commercial vessels unload their silver bounty from the deep to be sorted and packed for dispatch to inland cities. Many of these fishing boats will be found at rest at Cork Bay Harbour, from where there also ply more comfortable vessels provided especially for the visitor's pleasure. These take you out to Seal Island, where you will see the fascinating spectacle of thousands of seals frolicking in their natural environment. Returning from this unique experience by way of Simonstown, you will find that Battleship Grey is the predominant colour, for this is the home base of South African Marine Defence. The rapidly growing South African Navy is here in strength, using the harbour established in the old colonial days. In this establishment, the young officers of tomorrow are trained for their naval careers. Any one of the numerous drives around the peninsula will reveal resorts with characters of their own. There are facilities for almost any kind of sport you can think of. Kenilworth Racecourse has that rather special atmosphere of sophisticated diversion which is never quite the same anywhere except at a really smart race meeting. And then there is cricket at Newlands. A test match with an overseas team such as the MCC always attracts huge crowds. International rugby is invariably exciting. Here, South Africa is playing the Argentine. The Cape is a vast garden set in a perfect climate. At the Kirstenbosch Botanical Reserve can be seen most of the Republic's 2,600 different flowers, many of which are found nowhere else in the world. Because of this floral richness, one takes for granted displays like this, right in the heart of the city. It is perhaps difficult to choose between the masterpieces of nature and those produced by man, such as this inspiring memorial to Cecil Rhodes. There is no doubt that the Cape Peninsula has been richly endowed with scenic beauty. And one of the easiest ways to appreciate this is to take a ride in the cableway to the top of Table Mountain, 3,400 feet above the waters of the bay. This is indeed an awe-inspiring experience, and one that will remain with the visitor for the rest of his days. The Cape meant good hope indeed to the early mariners. Today, there is good hope and bounteous fulfillment for all who visit these hospitable shores.